Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la, ya la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Let's wish each other Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Turn to someone and wish them Shabbat Shalom. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la, ya la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Happy 4th of July. Hinei ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov
u'manayim sheverachim
gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. How good it is,
How good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is,
how good it is,
how sweet it
how
is
sweet it is
to be together on this day. Hinei ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'manayim sheverachim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. All right. It's wonderful to be here with you. I'm Rabbi Josh Caruso. I'm here with my colleagues, Cantor Sarah Sager, Rabbi Roger Klein, Cantor Laureate Sarah Sager, and Bill Toller. Thank you so much for being here, helping to enhance our service with music and joy. Great to be together. Boy, I will tell you, I'm gonna just share this, which I hadn't planned, which was I found out about 45 minutes ago that my wife had conspired to bring my 3 children in this weekend from out of town. So they're here tonight. I'm so excited that Harper, Asher, and Shayna are here. So yay! It's really exciting. Really special to have you all with me. All right, that's bringing me a lot of joy right now. So what brings you joy? To answer this question, one might think about conventional moments: a child's birth, Passover seders with family, life cycle moments of every sort. These are moments that come and go. They are prescribed high points of life. Those moments have always felt like a climb that ends at an expected peak. But Rabbi Shefa Gold recently wrote that pleasure is a doorway to expanded reality. Pleasure is a doorway. This teaching was instructive to me. Gold continues, "My revelation was that pleasure was not merely the destination, it is a doorway. This means that every moment of pleasure is a grace that must be fully received and fully surrendered. No holding on, no grasping, not trying to get it back. And each moment of pleasure can send us beyond the small self, she writes, into the larger being that we are. As a result, I thought of pleasure in a new way. How pleasure can come from many places at any time. It's the learning of a great piece of Torah, a reassuring embrace, a great first taste of bourbon, an amusing quip, the first bite of ice cream when it's paired with the crunch of the sugar cone, the glorious feeling of sun on one's face after a long and cold Cleveland winter. I used to think of these moments as singular and isolated. But while these pleasures may be momentary, they can tap into something greater. The learning of a good piece of Torah reminds one of all that we still have to learn. A loving embrace teaches that we are not alone. The sip of bourbon, taste of ice cream, prompts us that we can still delight a practiced palate. The amusing quip might inspire us to laugh every single day. And that moment when the sun touches the skin, it teaches that despite our darkest days, the sun will indeed return tomorrow. Each of these moments is a lesson, a new doorway opened to a greater truth. We like to call it in Judaism a peticha or a petucha. A peticha is an opening. It's like when we open the ark at peticha. Think about what's inside that ark, the Torah, the possibilities. Peticha, it's an opening, a beginning. It's a moment, but only the first of moments. Think about that a moment of joy and pleasure, while isolated and momentary, bleeds into some greater understanding, some greater moments of our lives, that it continues on. Just like the memories of our loved ones, just like sweet, sweet, sweet memories that we still hold on to from all those years ago. So, tonight we open. It is a peticha. Hopefully we feel pleasure tonight in just being here on Shabbat, unplugging from the world, being together. We become a community once again tonight. Some familiar faces and some new. How special it is to be able to just plug in to this instant community and plug into that joy. So may our lighting of the Shabbat candles be an opening to a meaningful Sabbath day for all. All right, I'm also going to surprise my kids and ask them to come on up to light the Shabbat candles, which is a momentary moment of joy that will definitely grow. We turn to page 2 in our prayer books as we have a little song that leads us into the lighting of the candles.
Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
As these Shabbat candles light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu leha Sager. These are familiar faces. Cantor Sager officiated at all their b'nai mitzvah. And a couple of baby namings, too. All right, we are going to turn to Shir Chadash on page 13.
It is July. This is the Piticha for Rabbi Caruso's senior rabbinate,
That's
I
true.
believe. This is your first Friday night as
First Shabbat, yeah.
First Shabbat, yeah, as the senior rabbi of Mishkan Or. So let us sing a new song, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Kol Haaretz. It is page 13. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along, all the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. We will sing unto God a new song.
Exalt Adonai our God, and bow towards God's holy hill, for Adonai our God is holy. Romemu, page 17.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho.
May Adonai grant strength to God's people. May Adonai bestow on God's people well-being. Page 19, Adonai Oz.
Adonai Oz le'amo yitein. Adonai Oz le'amo yitein. Adonai Oz le'amo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo. Adonai yivarech et amo. V'shalom. Adonai yivarech et amo. Et amo. V'shalom. Adonai Oz le'amo yitein. Adonai Oz le'amo yitein. Adonai Oz le'amo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo.
We continue with Lecha Dodi on page 20. We're doing the verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. On the 9th, we will stand up together as you are able and welcome the Sabbath bride.
Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Shama v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmi'anu el ha'miuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet v'litila echad uli likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Echad uli likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Likrat kavat lechu v'necha ki mekor haberacha meirosh mikadam nesucha sof ma'aseh machshava techila. Echad uli likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Echad uli likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Itoreri ki v'orech u'miori uri shidaveri kivod Adonai alayich nigla. Echad uli likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Echad uli likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Boi v'shalom aterhala gam b'simcha u'v'tola toch emunei am segula. Boi hala, boi hala, echad uli
Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Echad uli likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. We turn to page 28 as we go to our call to worship. Baruch Hu. We invite you to remain standing as you are able.
La 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch et Adonai Amorah. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Adonai Amevorach leolam vaed. La 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 la. La la
Page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me, did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 34, Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai
Hashem, Kevod Malkuto, Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. We continue with V'ahavta, page 36.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha v'chol nafshecha ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך.
ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני Adonai Elohechem, Amen. Page 39, top of the page. 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot together, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. There is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
As I reflected on this special 4th of July weekend, it occurred to me that the very first Declaration of Independence in history was uttered by Moses when he demanded of Pharaoh, "Let my people go." Since that time, Judaism has stood for the inalienable right of every human being, as created in the image of God, to be free. That concept is so important, is so fundamental to who we are as a faith and a people, that we invoke our own revolution at every single worship service. When we sing Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, we relive that moment of leaving behind the tyranny of slavery and emerging victorious on the other side of the sea of reeds. We left the forces of oppression drowning behind us and turned our attention to a new way of life. In a nod to the Nusach, the special melodies of this weekend, of this national observance, and with the understanding that the founders and framers of our country and Constitution based their values and ideals upon the Old Testament, upon our Tanakh, I hope you will join with me. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nadar b'kodesh nora tilot osei fela
Beautiful. We turn to page 42 for Hashkivenu. We ask God to bless us, help us rest as we soon will put our bodies to bed and rise us up to life renewed.
And the words are on the service bulletin on the back. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom, Mehamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Those who keep Shabbat will call it a delight, will rejoice in God's realm. We turn to page 44 on the bottom, page 44, with Yismachu.
Yismachu v'malechutecha, Yismachu v'malechutecha,
Yismachu v'malechutecha,
Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg oneg Shabbat. Yismachu v'malechutecha,
Yismachu v'malechutecha,
Yismachu v'malechutecha, Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg oneg Shabbat. Amekadeshei
Shabbat,
Amekadeshei Shvi,
Shabbat,
Amekadeshei
Shabbat,
Amekadeshei Shvi,
Shabbat,
Kulam yisveu v'yitangu mituvecha mituvecha. Yismachu v'malechutecha,
Yismachu v'malechutecha,
Yismachu v'malechutecha,
Yismachu v'malechutecha,
Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg oneg Shabbat. Yismachu v'malechutecha,
Yismachu v'malechutecha,
Yismachu
Yismachu
v'malechutecha,
v'malechutecha,
Shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg oneg Shabbat.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
So nice to see everybody on this beautiful midsummer night. We're going to continue now on page 46 as we rise for the Amidah.
Adonai, Sifatai tiftach, Ufi yagid tehilatacha. Adonai, Sifatai tiftach, Ufi yagid tehilatacha. Oh God, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Oh God, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Adonai, Sifatai tiftach, Ufi yagid tehilatacha. Adonai, Sifatai tiftach, Ufi yagid tehilatacha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, El HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Omer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, V'zocher chasei avot v'imahot, U'mevii geula livnei bneihem, V'ma'an shemo v'ahava, Melech ozer, U'moshiach u'magen. Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Yolam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Ata Rav Lehoshia, Mechakeh Adgar Yasha, Mo'ayim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayem Emunato, Ishei Ne'afa, Michamocha al Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Meimid, Umechayeh, Umatzliach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata l'chayot hakol. Ata Adonai l'chayei hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahallelu Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
You may be seated. And we turn now to page 62 for Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata tasim leolam. Shalom Rab, O Yisrael Omra, tasim leolam, tasim leolam, tasim leolam.
I'll have a little confession to make. When I sat down at the beginning of the service a few minutes ago and looked on the order of service sheet, I saw that I was going to be the one to introduce the silent prayer. There's nothing like an assignment to get one thinking. And I'm not sure I ever thought much about silence. And so you'll excuse the spontaneity and maybe a little bit of meandering. So we spend our days making our lives, creating the activities, and then following through on them. So I take it that an opposite of making is not making. And one of the definitions of not making is silence. So I asked myself as I was sitting there, just what is silence? And I came up with two possibilities. Of course, one is silence is the absence of things. It's nothing. And when we have silent prayer, we just allow ourselves to relax and not think at all. But if making is the way in which we allow ourselves to create our world, perhaps silence is a kind of receptivity, the way in which we allow the world to make us, to allow the things in our environment to come into our thought processes and to react either through gratitude or through joy. So I want to say that, at least provisionally, silence is not nothing. It's the stopping of making and allowing the world to pour in on us. Let's have moments of silent meditation.
I invite you to join with me. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, also on the back of your service programs. Olam
pause now, as we always do at a certain point in the service, to take into our awareness, to expand the perimeter of our understanding, to include those about whom we are thinking, those who are ailing of body, of mind, or of spirit, as we take them into our hearts and hope for a refuah shalema, a complete healing. I'm going to mention the names that I have in front of me, and then I'm going to give you an opportunity to mention those about whom you are thinking. We think of Isaac Altman, Marcy Curtis, Marilyn Goldfein, Judy Horvitz, Barbara Isaacs, Richard Joseph, Maya Lappin, Robin Lieberman, Peggy Meehan, Kathy Spencer, and Grace Weltman. We turn to page 253 for the singing of the Mishaberach.
Mishaberach avoteinu mekor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We turn now to the joyous moments in our lives, the Shehechianu moments. Would anybody like to mention a milestone that you are experiencing at this point? I have one. How about Rabbi Caruso's becoming our senior rabbi?
Yeah.
Let's sing together the Shehechianu.
On the same weekend as Taylor Swift getting married. How dare she steal my thunder?
You were going to mention being senior rabbi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higyanu lazman hazeh. Amen.
Friends, perhaps some of you know that the Western Reserve Historical Society and the Jacob Rader Marcus Center for American Jewish Archives has recently completed an enormous undertaking, and that is the digitization of all the papers of Rabbi Abba Hillel Silver and Rabbi Daniel Jeremy Silver. Thousands of pages of all their sermons, all their lectures, all their correspondence, course syllabi, and on and on. It is a vast treasure, and it's now available online to anyone who wants to explore what these rabbis said and thought from the 72 years between 1917 and 1989. Last fall, we celebrated the completion of this project with a program in which selections from this treasure trove were read and discussed. And just last month, Dr. Sean Martin of the Western Reserve Historical Society and I taught a 4-part course for Siegel College, in which we continued to explore this amazing achievement. In the first of my 2 sessions, I discussed Rabbi Abba Hillel Silver's eulogy for President John F. Kennedy, which, because of Rabbi Silver's sudden death just 5 days after Kennedy was assassinated, that eulogy was never delivered. But fortunately, that masterpiece was printed, and we have it. When it came time to prepare my second class, I decided to look for a 1976 sermon by Rabbi Daniel Jeremy Silver, in which he considered the meaning of America, 1976, in its 200th bicentennial year. And though I didn't find one that explicitly considered that topic, I did find one that Rabbi Dan delivered in February of 1976 with the title, America as the Promised Land. And we discussed that brilliant sermon in my second session. Now, as we discovered in our conversation, Rabbi Dan applies some of the language of the Torah to the meaning of America. And here is what he has to say. Judaism cannot be fully understood without a concept of a promised land. Now, the promised land was also, he goes on to say, a promising land, and also a holy land. And a holy land requires holy living. It is holy living that brings the promise closer to realization. That is, something promised is a gift. Something promising has potential. And if that potential is not made real in some significant way, then there is trouble. And for the Israelites in ancient days, that trouble is punishment and exile. And then Rabbi Dan makes the following move, and I quote him. So much of the American spirit refracts a similar attitude to land and to stewardship. Because our American forefathers believed that this land was a promised land and a promising land. And because America is a constitutionally based society, holy living means that there has to be justice and righteousness and equality here, and the acknowledgement that there is enough here in this promising land, enough here for everyone. Promised land, promising land, and gratitude for what is given flows into the recognition that the idea of a promising land implies action. Action that would focus on the not yet, on the possibility of an American translation of holy living into liberty and justice for all. possibility. That is the key word. At this point, I want to turn to the clarion call of a great philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche. And what Nietzsche wrote has continued to ring in my soul from the very moment I read it many decades ago. And here is Nietzsche's magnificent challenge. Have the courage to become what you are. To become who you are? This is strange. Am I not who I am right now? But Nietzsche has something more powerful in mind. Okay, who am I? And the answer? I am the Roger Klein who now stands before you. The Roger Klein you have known all these years, with all the attributes you have come to know. That's the answer, who I am. But is it the answer? Well, yes and no. Yes, of course I'm the person who stands before you, but I have not yet become all that I can be. And this is what Nietzsche is driving at. There is the Roger Klein who is what he is right now, but there is another Roger Klein, an even more important one, the one who aspires to be something more, to become the self I aspire to be. So for Nietzsche, who I am is not the person standing in front of you. This is his paradox. Is not the person standing in front of you. Who I am is the one who is not yet. Let me give you an example. Many of you know the names of the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena Williams, two of the greatest tennis players, men and women included, of all time. So, who was Serena Williams at the beginning when she had great promise? Well, she was that promising player. But had she been asked the question, who are you? Who are you? I am sure that her answer would have been, note the paradox, I am the Wimbledon champion. I am the winner of 24 major tennis tournaments. Notice that she did not say, I will be the winner of 24 majors, which turned out to be true, but rather, I am already, before winning one of them, the winner of 24 tournaments. I am who I hope to be. And by identifying who she is, by defining who she strives to become, she defined herself not by her virtues and her flaws now, but by her aspirations. And by saying this, she acknowledged that she has a lot of work to do to become herself. Right now, she has many flaws, flaws which she can't ignore if she's going to become the person she is. That's what an aspiration is. In other words, Serena dared to become who she is. And this is exactly what Rabbi Silver had in mind. America, like the Jewish people, like Israel, like Serena Williams, must see its true self, not by who it is now, but by who we are striving to become. And this involves honest self-criticism, humility, and a recognition that we do have the power to become our true selves, or let me say, our not yet selves. And what does this have to do with America on this Erev 4th of July? On this eve of our 250th birthday as a nation? First, that we are a nation of becoming, always on the way to our destiny, to whom we are. And who are we? Our founding documents seek to tell us. And I have time now for only one example, of which there are many. Here it is. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Now, I imagine that the founders believed that this statement was complete and completely true, but it wasn't. Because buried within that ringing statement is something even more ringing: the potential, the possibility to become a country in which all, not just men, not just white people, all have equality with respect to rights. And until we complete that promise, America is not who we are meant to be, namely who we are before we become it. And so over the years, we have tried to become the inclusive nation that statement, if better understood, prescribes. The Civil War amendments of the 1860s that sought to move the country to be more inclusive with respect to rights. The Seneca Falls movement, the 19th Amendment that gave women the right to vote, as well as the civil rights and voter rights legislation of the 1960s, were motivated by trying to be who we are. Of course, all the progress of those decades past in our own day has become tragically eroded. We've gone backwards. And we have sorrowfully turned away from who we are toward an ugly distortion of who we are. But on this eve of the 4th of July, on this eve of our 200th birthday as a nation, let us remember that we are a nation whose very identity of who we are at a given moment, not the imperfect, the flawed, the sometimes regressive nation that is afraid to become who we are. We are a nation in process, and the key is to know who we are as a people is what we are becoming to be. The acorn is the oak tree on the way. Our beloved America is ever and always not who we are now, but who we strive to become. We must, as Nietzsche pointed out, have the courage to be who we are. We continue now in our prayer books on page 282, and I invite you to rise for the Aleinu. You may be seated. We continue now in our prayer books on page 290 as we prepare for the recitation of the mourner's Kaddish. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, to hope, to dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. We think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. On this occasion, we think especially of an individual who passed away recently, Howard Ehrlich. We also think of those who have been laid to rest during this past week, Shirley Lycan, Michael Scott Littauer, Rosalind Malvin Sokol Seed, and we think as well of those who have been laid to rest in the last 30 days. Sarah Felder, Rhoda Hyatt Gellis, Amy Kinslinger, Shelley Lipson, Jay Schultz, June Garson, Pam Glosserman, Daniel T. Weidenthal, MD. And I'm going to read from the list of those individuals for whom somebody made a call asking for them to be read tonight. We think about Louis Bernard Jr., Maxine Bilchik, Charles J. Goodman, Dr. Irving Gottesman, Ronald Gottesman, Lillian Heiser, Jackie Kaplansky, Joseph Mendes, Jane A. Mezzi, Larry November, Rosella M. Rosenberg, Clara Schott, Sadie S. Spitz, Robert Hart Stoddard, Louis E. Whites. And as my hand passes over your section of the congregation, please take this opportunity to mention those about whom you are thinking, whether you are observing their yahrzeit or thinking especially intensely about them at this time. And in the handout for Shabbat, you will find in the center section the complete list of those whose yahrzeits we are observing. At this point, I invite those who are observing the Shiva period, the first 7 days after the death of a loved one, if you wish to please rise. And those who are observing the Shloshim period, the first 30 days after the death of a loved one, please rise. And those who are observing the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one, please rise. And now, as a caring congregation, let us all rise and together recite the Kaddish found in our prayer books on page 294, as we say together, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, v'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomeichon v'chayedechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kari v'yamru amen, Yehei shemei Rabba mevarach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'yamru amen Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us. And let us say together, Amen.
V'imru
want to spend a moment just thanking those who have helped to beautify our service and to make the going smooth. Our 3 ushers for this evening, Jackie Weiner, Harriet Belkin, and Harriet Pacone. And I want to invite others, the rest of you. If you're interested in becoming an usher, the pay is low, but the gratification is high. Please see one of us, and we'll be sure to put you in touch with the person who can help you become a member of the Usher Corps. Also, I want to thank our wonderful pianist, Bill Toller, who has been with us for many, many years and really helps to make our services exciting and meaningful and deep. We're going to now continue with the Kiddush. I think we're going to do it in here. We're in some conversation about whether to do it here or to do it out in the commons area. We've decided that we're going to get back to doing it here so that everybody can join in with the Kiddush.
Any folks who consider themselves young? Come on up. We'll have a little challah and Kiddush together. Anybody want to help us? I know we have some little ones here if they're willing to help us do the challah. You're young. You're young. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we got some friends here. All right. See, we have more youngsters coming. We're not carding you to find out how young you truly are. Hi. All right.
Oh, there you go.
All right, we got the youngsters here.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shavah kodesha, v'ahava uvratzon, inchiranu. Zikaron lemaseh hareishim, Yom Tekiah Mekrah Kodesh, Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim, Kibanu v'amarta, v'otanu kidasha, mikol is terrible.
Good enough.
Yeah, I think
Are we singing? Yeah.
We join together. The words are on the back of your service bulletins. In America, my country, 'tis of thee, and then Shabbat Shalom. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where our fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's Ride, from every
Shabbat Shalom. Join us for Oneg Shabbat in the Commons.
Sarah.